Hey y'all, so I know you can't really see me. That's because I just got off work. It's past 11 o'clock at night, so it's dark. But on my way back from work, I just wanted to stop by and chat with y'all real quick. I think from now on, when I get a new job, I'm not going to talk about it. Because it seems like every time I get a new job, and it's something that I think is going to be a decent job, and I share it with people, I jinx it, and the job turns to shit. And call me crazy or whatever. My dad doesn't believe in this, but I believe in jinx. I believe if you share too much with people sometimes too early, or just share too much, it can jinx it. It was a very rough night. On the rehab side, it seems like they're pretty much trying to fill that side up. And I was on the floor tonight. At first, it was just me by myself. At first, it was 17 people, but then we had 2 new admissions. So at this place, pretty much, I guess, because it's rehab, people are in and out sometimes. So sometimes you may only have 7, 10 people over there. It's been like that when I first started. But now, since we had 2 new admissions and there was already 17 people, that made a total of 19. And it's like, when you're a CNA, you definitely have to I can't say the right word. You have to speak up for yourself, advocate for yourself. Because I said, hey, this is not fair. Because they have like a rehab side and they have a long-term care side. And on the long-term care side, they had like 10 patients apiece. I'm like, hey, can we split this assignment up? I went to the nurse and was like, we need to fix this because that's not fair at all. So they fixed it, and it was even when they split it up, it was still rough. It was very rough. A lot of people on rehab, they ring a lot. Because they're alert and oriented, so they be on them call buttons a lot. Some of them can be very demanding. They feel like, as soon as they ring the button, the light, we're supposed to be at their beck and call. They don't care that we have other patients. They feel like we're supposed to kind of be their personal CNA, and that's not how it works. Unless you rich or you got the money to hire your own, personal sitter, personal CNA, that's not how it works. But some of them feel that way. And it was just very rough. And I'm like, from now on, if I do get a good job, I'm not saying nothing for a long time. Because, like I said, I believe in jinx. But anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about is, CNAs. Do not let nurses talk to y'all any kind of way just because they have a higher position than you. Don't let these, I don't care if it's an LPN, RN, hell, I don't care if it's a freaking doctor. Don't let these people talk to you any kind of way, because we all grown. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happened. So it was a very stressful day, and this new nurse, I don't think she's like a brand new nurse, but she's new to this job. She's been here for like 2 weeks now, I think. So, normally she's pretty cool, but there was this lady, this patient, that was ringing for her breathing treatment, right? And I think this was probably at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And so the CNA that had her went down like she's supposed to do and went to deliver the message to the nurse. So the nurse told the CNA, because I was right there, so I heard the conversation. She was like, okay, well, tell her she's just going to have to wait because there's other people that have medicine that's due earlier than her breathing treatment. She said that her breathing treatment isn't due till 9 o'clock. And, that makes sense. There's other patients that they have medicine that's due by, let's say, 8 o'clock. So I agree, they should get their medicine first, unless it's like an emergency or the woman just can't breathe, of course. And I don't think it wasn't that kind of situation. So she delivers the message to patient, right? And the patient was like, well, but I wanted to do it. Like, that's what the nurse said. She literally, all the CNA can do is deliver the message. The CNA ain't got shit to do with the breathing treatment, the medicine. That's all they can do. But it's like, it's always the CNA that gets fussed at. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in there with the patients the most. We're in there more than the nurses. So if the patient is upset about something, even if it has nothing to do with the CNA, we're the ones that gets fussed at. So I want to say approximately maybe like 30-40 minutes later, that same patient rings again. Can you tell that nurse to bring me my breathing treatment? So, doing her job is a CNA delivering, all she did was deliver the message. Now, she knows that the patient done asked for this, and the nurse already told her what's up. But, and I was right there. She approached the nurse very politely. She said, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but such and such is asking about her breathing treatment again. And the CNA was very polite about it. She was, you know what I'm saying? That she's doing her job, you know? So, can you believe the nurses, in my opinion, the nurse was very rude to her. She was like, okay, listen, you just do your job and let me do my job, okay? And the CNA said, okay, well, what do you want me to tell her? You don't tell her nothing. Don't tell her nothing. Just do your work and let me do my work. Like, very, you know, aggressive like. That couldn't have been me. I'm going to tell you right now, that couldn't have been me. Like I said, CNAs, and I'm not talking about all nurses. I work with some really good nurses, wonderful nurses. I love them. But you got a lot of nurses that like this treat CNAs like pure shit for whatever reason. What could the CNA have done differently? That's my question to y'all. What do y'all think? What was she supposed to do? If she hadn't have told the nurse again, then she probably would have got blamed for it. Like, oh, well, you didn't tell me she asked for it again. So it's like, you can't win sometimes with being a CNA. And it's like, I hear nurses on TikTok and stuff complain all the time how nursing is getting hard and stuff. But really, from what I see, being a nurse is not as hard as being a CNA. I'm sorry. At least physically, and just the abuse that CNAs deal with. But nowadays, like I said, CNAs, don't let anybody talk to you any kind of way. I would have gave the same, like I said in that other video, the same energy that you give me, I'm going to give to you. Especially when I know I'm not in the wrong. I know I'm not in the wrong. That CNA was definitely not in the wrong. She approached the nurse very politely. All she did was say, I'm sorry to bother you again about this, but the patient is still asking about the breathing treatment. Just let me do my job and you do yours. You bitch, she is doing her job. I'm sorry, y'all. That's a part of her job, is delivering messages. Y'all ain't gonna answer these lights. So we have to answer all of them, and we delivering the message. That's all she did. So it's just like, if you have that much patience, you shouldn't be a nurse, in my opinion. If you get mad that easily over a CNA just literally delivering a message to you, very politely, very professionally, and you get mad about that, you should not be a nurse, because you don't have a lot of patience. You got anger issues. I'm just saying. So, honey, it wasn't me, so I ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in it. But like I said, 2023, I'm giving people the same kind of energy they give me. And I feel like if that had been me, like I said, because I'm so nice and I'm soft-spoken, as everybody says, that nurse probably would have thought, oh, she could talk to me that kind of way too. No, honey. I'm giving it right back. I got an opinion, whether you're a nurse or a CNA. Like, if you're a nurse that's been a CNA before, because I know I got a lot of y'all that watch me, some of y'all, what would your response have been to that nurse? What would you say back to her? And what tone of voice would you have said it? Because you're not going to talk to me just any kind of way. You ain't going to talk to me like I'm just a piece of shit. All because I'm doing my job. You do your job and let me do my job. She's doing her job. Part of her job is, if the patient is requesting something, it's her job to tell you, you idiot. That is doing her job. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's already stressful enough. Because we had a rough night, and you talking to me like I'm just like I ain't shit. Bitch, you would have got cussed out. I don't care if you got LPN, RN, BSN, NP. I don't care what the fuck you got behind your name, what letters you got behind your name. You would have got cussed the fuck out, because you ain't gonna talk to me like that. for simply doing my job. Like, oh girl, child. Whew, I was mad for the CNA. And this CNA is a very hard worker. She's a very hard working CNA. She's an older lady and she works hard. Like, she's one of them CNAs that goes above and beyond. So for her to just to talk, I wanted to say something. This ain't my business. This ain't my business. But yeah, how would y'all respond to that? That's my question. Because I notice, like, nurses don't, most of the time, they don't talk to each other like that. But they'll talk to a CNA like that because they feel like, oh, you got a lower title than me, so I can just talk to you any kind of way. No, ma'am. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, if all the CNAs decide to quit tomorrow, what would a nursing home do? What would they do? They would have to shut down. Because the nurses damn sure ain't going to answer them lights, even if they could. So what? So stop treating CNAs like they just the scum of the earth for doing their job. Now, if they ain't doing their job, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that, then yeah. You know, write them up or do whatever you're supposed to do. But for simply talking to somebody like that, for simply literally just delivering a message, because that would make me feel uncomfortable going to you as the nurse. Because then another patient might say, oh, I want a pain pill. That would make me feel uncomfortable. Like, oh God, can I go to this nurse? Is she gonna go off on me? Like, I don't even want to deliver this message because she might go off, cuss me out. I don't know what her response is gonna be. So that will make me feel, as a CNA, you know, that would make me feel uncomfortable. You know, like I said, going to the nurse for that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I had to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm about to go home, and I will see y'all the next time.